Yeah, friends, welcome to today's session. So, in the previous session, we have discussed Unit 1, that is, learn the value of storytelling in business. And today, let's look at the second unit. Well, as well as some people are asking, please, why have uh, you could have shown the answers also. My intention here not to tell you the answers for the questions. It's not that. You have to understand from the core of the concept. That's my intention. That is the reason I am doing this much of efforts. I am putting this much of efforts for that. Right. Thanks for understanding. Well, storytelling. Okay. So let's have the answers for this. Most of the people have responded me good, and some people, what is the mistake they have done? Well, the second question, true or false? At Salesforce, we use storytelling in our product demos. Yes or no? Right? Obviously. Good. Then, a company story includes which of the following? Company's vision? Of course. Company's values? Of course. Company's shareholders? So A and B or B and C? Good. Well, let's go to the next unit now. That is learn the basics of storytelling. Well, after complete after completing this unit, you will be able to summarize why storytelling is valuable for people leaders. So we are leaders, we need to lead the teams. Here, team leader is not a person who commands the other people, he's a part of the team. So corporate environment is going to be like that. Describe the three types of stories and their uses. Okay. It doesn't mean that there are only three types of stories in this context, because we are focusing on this TrailHead module, Salesforce's TrailHead module. So we have three types of stories. We will see it and identify the five parts of a basic story arc. Okay. In general, our public speaking or presentation skills, so what we say, GOD, generation, operation, destruction. So introduction of the speech, at the last conclusion of the speech, and that the entire speech. Okay, three parts. So here the three has gone to extended. The introduction and the body, another part, and the body and the closing, another part. So creating the suspense is one part, then releasing, another part. Okay, so five parts of the basic story arc we are going to see. Swapping stories is valuable. In 2009, a man named Todd Ball built a little free library. Little free library. What it is? Just beside his outside his home. It was a tribute to his mother, who was a school teacher. The premise was that people could come and freely take a book or give a book. So give or take. They can freely come and take a book. They can freely come and give a book. So that's the purpose. There is a lot of meaning in it. You can give what you have already experienced, just right. So the storytelling is nothing but not only giving. It is a lot of listening, taking. Well, so giving and taking, that is the life, right? Give respect, take respect, give stories, take stories, right? Give knowledge, take knowledge. It is the thing. So this little free library, we are going to have references in future also. Well, swapping stories with your team, swapping stories with your team can be just like that little free library, this little free library, where there is a take, give and take, right? And everyone shares. This dynamic is extraordinarily valuable to you as a people leader, because it allows you engage with your direct reports and other colleagues, so your team members. So we don't say subordinates generally. We take direct reports and colleagues, peer members. inspire your team to do their best work. Okay, so if I am the part of the team and I have a supervisor, a manager, then I will be having my peer members, right? My colleagues. These are my colleagues, A, B, C, D. And Mr. E is my supervisor, my manager, right? So we are the direct reports to him. So this is the terminology we follow. Inspire your team to do their best work, build credibility and rapport with your direct reports, building rapport, right? In the previous uh, module, I mean, in the previous unit also, I was talking about there is nothing called teaching. There is nothing called teaching. Just winning the hearts of the other people, building a rapport, building instant rapport. The first 30 seconds of you, what the image you are creating to your direct report or your colleagues, that matters. Even the strangers, your clients, the end users, that building instant rapport matters. So with this storytelling, build credibility and rapport with your direct reports. Present your ideas in a creative, compelling, and an appropriate way. Creative, compelling, and appropriate way. But before you start sharing your own stories, you must do one thing. What it is? Listen. Actually, I should recommend Salesforce people. This LISTEN should be written in a very very big font size and big bold letters and different style. So that much meaning, that much importance, that much weightage, that listen should be given. Who are the powerful speakers? Who listen more? Who listen more? God has built everything in its anatomy, the structure. 2 ears, one tongue. It doesn't mean that you have to talk less. No, no. You talk, but double to that. Double to that. You have to listen. Then between these 2 ears, something is great thing is this 1400 grams of brain, 1.4 kg. This brain processing has to be done. Then that is using your ethics and morale at your heart, by filtering at your heart, that has to be delivered through your lips, through your tongue. So talk, but double to that. More times you have to listen, listen, listen. The first most quality in communication skills is you should be an effective listener. Then only you can become an effective communicator. Well, that's right. By first listening to the stories of your team members, by first listening to the stories of your team members, right, the quiz you are going to get, the quiz question also you are going to get about this one. By first listening to the stories of your team members, you uncover key details about who they are, what motivates them, and what they care about. From this information, you learn which of your own stories will best engage and inspire the members of your team, and which career opportunities might be a good match. So by listening, you understand what suits them, what motivates them, what can engage them, and select a story type. If you have listened closely to your team members, you should have some idea of which stories will be engaging and meaningful for them. But if you are looking for a little bit more inspiration, here are three types of stories you can share with your team. Number one, real life stories. So these real life stories, you are authentic person, you have experienced them. So it is your own, it's not a borrowed one. And it's authentic, right? It's a scientific for you. That method, whatever the method, by implementing which you have come out of your challenges at that time. Okay, these are your real life scenarios. Stories that detail your personal and professional experiences. Then the second is inspirational, like you have got success in your own life. Some people, history creators, right? Swami Vivekananda says the history of the world is the history of a few people whose names can we can count on our fingertips. The history of those people who names we can count on our fingertips, who had faith in themselves, Atma Vishwas, who had faith in themselves, right? So their faith, they have turned their challenges into their victories. So their stories are nothing but inspirational stories. And on a daily basis, regular basis at least, may not be daily basis, at regular basis, weekly or fortnightly basis, you have to invest your time. I'm saying invest your time by reading the inspirational books, right? Take my experiment on truth, Mahatma Gandhi, like that inspirational stories that will motivate and coach and boost the morality, the moral values in your team members. Then the third one is informational. Informational stories that communicate information about the business. This is purely information, but you have to be very carefully. You have to be very careful by handling such type of information stuff, because the other people should not sleep. engaging engaging them is the matter. So on one hand, you have to give the stuff, just information is of left brain. At the same time, you have to handle the right brain can be handled when you have created some images in their brain, some emotional things, and when there is a chance they can experience something, and they can take a place to correlate the information to their lives, right? So this has to be there when you handle with informational. Well, the story types are not mutually exclusive. For example, a real life story can be inspirational, of course, and informational, and vice versa, right? Good. Here is the breakdown. Tell a real life story. Telling a real life story is as simple as sharing information about your life. When you share stories, no matter whether they are personal or professional, you connect and build rapport with your team. I know. More importantly, you show them that's okay for them to share to you. Why? When you share your real life things to your own people, right? Your own people. So you are telling your own experiences means they feel that you are giving importance to them. So they are your people, your own people. So that rapport is also there. And they them take is personal, right? Yeah, it's my, it's, you are giving importance to your team, right? Here are a few do's and don'ts for sharing real life stories. Do's and don'ts. Okay, this is the link, trailheadsalesforce.com. Module is storytelling and communication, and the unit is learn the basics of storytelling. Go there, and what are the do's and what are the don'ts, you take care. I'm not going through that, right? Then tell an inspirational story. Because you are a people leader, your direct reports will be looking to you to, well, to lead. So whatever one word you speak, that counts. Whatever one action, that counts. In fact, we speak more with our body, not with our tongue. Just it is 7% our language. Verbal communication is just 7% only. The remaining you have body language. So your actions should speak more than your words, as Mahatma Gandhi said. Your actions should speak, not your words. Right. So as a leader, what you speak, what you act, how you react, how you act, how you react matters, right? And when you come to the inspirational story, you have to maintain the three R. So there is a movie in India, RRR, so which has one song scored Oscar award also. Not. So that is an Indian film, RRR, the song. So this RRR, you can, this inspirational story, relatable. So to your context, to your project, to your objectives, to your people, it should be relatable. Then it's riveting. Means I'm not saying that it should be a jaw-dropping experience. It's not like that, but they should experience pain, that pain you underwent. I mean, the character, whatever the inspiration, yourself or another leader who has who had undergone the challenges, even your team members should be in a position to feel it, experience it. So it should be a riveting one. Why? One movie becomes super hit, another ordinary, just normal play, ordinary play. One movie is very hit, super duper hit, because of this riveting experience. So they should correlate, relatable. It should be relatable. It should be correlatable, and it should be riveting experience for them. So they should come into the role. They should feel whatever the hero or the characters are feeling. So those are the super duper hit movies. Here also, your inspirational story should have relatable, riveting, and a repeatable one also. Then tell an informational. The next, the third type of is informational story. The informational story, facts, right? The just analytics, information, just stuff. Then what the keywords we need, project kickoffs, right? Output what's we need, and the status updates, team news, presentations, feedback, Slack conversations. Here we are going to have some information, right? Well, then okay, you had all the types of stories. Then how to start, where to end, where to drag, where to squeeze, where to contract. So all this. For that, thing is there called story arc. Generally, we say it is a GOD, right? A generating starting point of the story, destroy, just closing part of the story, then the body, whatever you want to tell, that's the thing. So three parts. Coming to here, we have five parts, right? In my regular workshops, I have three. Here, the Salesforce is giving five. Number one is starting point, exposition. Exposition. So in your life or another leader life, so this is the project has been given to them. This is a task has been given to him or taken by him. Take the example of okay, Ramayana is an epic in India. Here he has to go to 14 years of forest living, just living every royal life and all, right? So this is the starting point, exposition. Then climax point. Climax means so there is no other way. There is no other way place for another challenge or another problem. So that much of head full of problems, head full of challenges are there. So that is the climax part. And from the starting point, right, so before entering into a forest and overwhelmed with all the challenges, each challenge by challenge, problem after problem, challenge after challenge, you have to make a rising action so that your uh, team members or your direct reports or audience should get how he's going to get rid of it, how he's going to get rid of it. In case of this epic, what I'm saying, the villain just kidnaps the heroine. Villain kidnaps the heroine and takes to some oceans far away, some oceans far away. Then how he's going to solve that challenge, how get rid of that problem. This is rising action. This is called rising action. So problem after problem, problem after problem, you are just knotting, just knotting. Then climax. After that, what happens? Before the resolution, falling action. In the falling action, coming out of problem one after one, one after one after one. So whatever you knot, you are just decoding it, right? Encoding, decoding. Encoding means build up the suspense. Decoding means whatever the suspense you have given, you are giving the solution one after one, one after one, one after one. So how they could come out of the challenge, one after one challenge, and how they could hit the targets. I mean, they could achieve the, I mean, they could deliver the project successfully. So in this falling action, one after one, just you are releasing the tension, whatever the twist you have given in rising action, right? So even you take any movie, even a Titanic, so the climax part and the resolution part, from the starting point to climax part, one after one, creating the suspense. Then in the falling action, how the dareness, right? That is the heroism. With the heroism, how he could come out of it. So this is the arc you have to follow. So expose, then create suspense after suspense after suspense. When there is no hope, lost every hope, right? No chance for one more problem or any solution. Then how they solved. Then resolution. It is going to give them to take an action. Yes, I can also do that. I can also come out of this challenge. Even I can also achieve the targets, right? So in this table, we will explain and provide an example of each part of the arc. So what is exposition? It provides the background information of the characters, etc. An example, the meeting room was stuffy and warm. It smelled like a mix between paint fumes, freshly pressed dry cleaning, and leftover catered lunch. There were no windows or artwork, just a larger than life screen for presentations, a stage, and a room full of people. Right? So like this, you can start. Then the rising action. So rising action takes one example or two examples or three examples, one problem, two problem, three problem, one challenge, two challenge, three challenges. So it introduces a series of events that move the narrative forward while building on the conflict and increasing the tension of the story. So here's the example. I could not get in touch with my manager who was supposed to present there. I knew the presentation but had never spoken in front of a crowd before. So I have that stage fright. I waited. So with this, what happens? You are creating tension. I called. I was worried. What would happen if she didn't arrive? My manager is not picking the call. She's not responding. But I can't handle the crowd. Never before I have never given any presentation. Suspense. This is the rising action. More time passed. I called and called. No answer. The presentation was scheduled to start in 2 minutes. My heart raced. Laptop, laptop. So, so this should be a riveting experience for your audience. Even their heart should be loved up, because they are also under the same scenario, huh? Right? So, bringing them to your shows and or giving your shoes to making them to enter into your shows when it is possible, when you know to enter into their shows. Empathy, empathetic. So when you are empathetic, you can make them empathetic. More time passed, I called time, no answer, presentation was still 2 minutes. My heart raced. The events organizer approached and said, hello, what would you like to do? So this is someone's words, you have to give emphasis. So intonation we call voice modulation. In voice modulation, you can raise the voice. What would you like to do? He asked me like that. Or you can tell his words like this. What would you like to do now? What would you like to do now? Like a whispering voice. That gives more sense and you can involve them. Then the third one, climax point. Climax is nothing but the turning point of the narrative where all the story tension comes to a head and the conflict is going to be resolved. Right. Then I said, I will give the presentation. I replied, I will give the presentation. I replied, yes, I will give the presentation. I replied. So, like that, you can give. I I gulped some water and walked on stage. I could feel my heart is racing, jig, 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 jig. The stage lights were so bright that I could not see the audience. Then falling action means just you are giving solution after solution after. So detail events that decrease the previously established tension. Then I did so and so, so and so. Then the resolution. It reveals how the events had forever changed. Challenges turned into victories. Right. So I had more about presenting those minutes that I ever did from the months of watching my manager present the same speech. So I have been learning by going and doing the diplomas. It has not helped me. Even I have been observing my manager. It has not helped me. That 30 minutes when I did it, I learned it. Learning by doing. Learning by doing. So you boost morale. You give confidence to your team members that yes, I can also do it. Right. Okay. So when you use this story arc, that helps your audience navigate the narrative and keep them engaged and invested. Right. So you're all set. Step some storytelling tools. So now it's time to dive a little deeper into maybe the most influential of story types, inspirational stories. That's up in the next unit. So the next unit, you're talking about the inspirational stories. And the quiz, uh, question one, before you share your stories with your direct reports, you must do which of the following? What you have to do? Listen, listen, listen. Search for the answer, where it is. And in the next unit, I will be giving you the answers. And what are the answers you have given? Give me in the comments. Then what are the 3 R's of inspiration? What we talk? It should be a relatable, it should give a riveting experience, and it should be a repeatable. So where those things are relatable, riveting, repeatable, right? I first itself have, and any other 3. Look, right, give the answer, right? In a in the next unit, that is inspire your team with stories. Okay, I will be discussing what the answers you provided, and you have got the 100 marks, 100 points, 100 points. Just mention me in the comments box. I would be happy to mention the same in the next unit, inspire your team with stories. So till then, stay tuned. So Salesforce online training. This is one channel exclusively for Salesforce, and Secular Shah. This is political, motivational, inspirational, religious, healing, tennis, yoga related, psychological, all this stuff in Telugu and English language. So please subscribe to both the channels and forward the other people who are for whom it may be helpful for